Well, this week, the doc from Nutrog, he's in the laboratory. He's just got his jacket on. You know, he's looking pretty professional. He wants to have a chat about a new project. Wow, another one. You know, we had human beings a couple of weeks ago, and how this will benefit for all home gardeners. Huey, I can't believe you guys are churning out new products and new ideas all the time. How are you?
Yeah, very well, Graham. Yes, well, human beings, yeah, that's done and dusted. We move on. So,
well, they're keeping you guys very busy there. So what have we got? What have we got today?
Well, you guys are probably, or your listeners are probably well aware that at Nutrog we've been collecting soil samples and screening those for those beneficial microbes. You know, we look for characteristics such as the ability to solubilize potassium, phosphate, pull down nitrogen, suppress disease, and stimulate plant growth by, you know, the production of plant growth hormones. Until now, many of those samples we've screened have come from places like botanic gardens, some from home gardeners, but many have really come from agriculture and farm soils. And, you know, we've had a collection now of about 1,500 microbes. So we know the function of some of those. For many of the others, we don't. And that approach has been really successful. But now we're starting to look more specifically at microbes associated with certain soils, growth media, and specifically certain types of plants.
So which plants are you targeting first?
Well, we started to look for bacteria and fungi from Australian native soil, so areas that haven't been used for agriculture. So the idea is here we find microbes which could potentially be more beneficial for native species. So, you know, they will then be included in products such as bush tucker, which is obviously specifically designed for native plants. So I've been going around with my little shovel in my local bushland collecting a few spades full of soil. I've roped the Angus Stewart into getting me some soils from Tasmania and Western Australia. And really, come to think of it, I need someone in New South Wales to go out bush and collect some soil samples, if you know anyone, Graham.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And then we will also start looking for microbes associated with epiphytes, in particular orchids. Again, here we think we can isolate microbes that are beneficial for that group of plants. The idea here will be then to incorporate these into strike back for orchids.
Now, look, that then sounds like an incredibly lengthy process, an incredible amount of work, Huey.
Well, it isn't a short process, but I've got a really good team, and we're pretty good now at doing that sort of thing. So, you know, first we find the microbes, then we get their genome sequence, so we know exactly what we're working with. Next, we work out how to grow them in large scale, and finally we put them in the product. So I really imagine that we'll have something within the next 6 months, so before the end of the year. But, you know, in the meantime, bush tucker and strike back for orchids obviously still contain many of those beneficial microbes we've already selected, so for nutrient availability, disease suppression, and the like. So now they're still great products, but I was trying to improve it and involve them.
Just amazing. I was actually talking to a couple of our callers earlier this morning, and people thought things were diseases. There were insects, and I said, no, it's not insects. It's disease problems, suppression, and you just got to add more beneficial controls, and and that's often where Populate comes in, and of course a lot of your fertilizers in the future are going to have the same benefits, and it certainly seems to be something new that's happening in the research and the development department at Nutrog, and not only with Populate but now with bush tucker and strike back for orchids. They're already excellent products and will only improve as they evolve. And of course bush tucker and strike back for orchids are available at Bunnings, other hardware outlets, and of course all good garden centres. I guess it's the model that you've taken from Sudden Impact for Lawns that you've added Populate to. I guess it's the same model that you're using for bush tucker and strike back for orchids, Huey.
Exactly. So what we're thinking is we have, you know, obviously Populate is a great product. We've had lots of positive feedback, but we also want to do something that's more specific. So, you know, down the track, I can see us doing, you know, specialist microbes for lawns, or maybe something for roses and that sort of thing. So, you know, it's a work in progress, but yeah, we're going down a more specialised route now that we've got a good base to work with. We try to build on that.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Honestly, when I think back to when I was 11 years of age, working at my local garden centre. Oh, goodness me. I might as well have been on the moon 400 years ago. Huey, it's great to be alive, to experience and to see all this happening in the 21st century, mate. Thank you for taking us on this journey.
Thank you, Graham. Have a great week.
You too. All the best here on the Garden Clinic.